Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon Everyday Earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? It's your boy, BVO Sports TV. I'm in the house with my guy, man, the Puerto Rican Prince D Free. We about to have some fun, talk some boxing, man. Shout out to our sponsors, Raycom. Big shout out to the Breakfast Box. Appreciate you. Definitely want to send a big shout out to the Smoke Shop. We got another commercial we working on for that one as well. But how you feeling, Free?
I'm chilling.
So what you think about this kid Moses, man? I went and rewatched the fight, and I ain't gonna lie, you were right. Dillian was hurt bad.
Yeah. Man. I mean,
he was hurt bad.
For him to be 20 years old, I mean, he got a bright future ahead of him if he continue to work on his craft. I can see him being a superstar and a future champion as long as he keep his head on straight and he keep working on his craft and stay focused. I can see him being a heavyweight champion at some point in his career.
Yeah, man. I just, what's so funny? One thing I'm finding out about boxing I didn't know, them short punches hurt bad. Because I mean, Dillian, he got right up, but he was messed up. Like them little short punches. I didn't realize Moses was hitting him that hard, but he looked pretty shook up when he hopped up.
Yeah, he's a big puncher. I mean, you saw the evidence of it in that fight, but I mean, prior to that fight, he came in there at 12 wins with 10 of them by knockout. So I mean, he is a big puncher. He gotta work on better competition. See how he does with better competition. I mean, Dillian White was a step up for him. I mean, I know a lot of people are not sold on Dillian White, but Dillian White has been in there with everybody except for Usyk and Wilder. He's been in there with everybody. Usyk and Wilder was probably the only big name heavyweights that he hasn't been in there with. But like I said, that was a step up fight for him, and the guy's only 20 years old, so he got a bright future ahead of him. He gotta stay focused.
Mike Rim, the master angler. Salute to Mike Rim, the master angler. The Autism Cottage 81. Salute to you, my brother. Definitely salute to my man. Is it Coed 7435? Hope I'm saying that right. Salute, man. But I'll say this. The thing that really shocked me was he didn't hit Dillian with an uppercut. He hit him with that short left hand. I just didn't know that Moses was punching. That's what I'll say. I didn't. I was shocked about that part. You?
Yeah. No, I'm not shocked that he's punching. Like I said, I seen him fight before, and he got power. He got a fast combination. He got good footwork. The thing that I was more um impressed by was the fact that when he did get Dillian White hurt early, and and Dillian White fell back to the rope. He didn't smother his punches. He stayed poised and he put his punches together. He made the shots that he threw count. He went to the body. He didn't try to head hunt, and he brought Dillian White gloves down where he could throw that sneaky left hook and oh, I'm sorry, sneaky right hook and take Dillian White out. I mean, because he stayed poised. Most of the time with guys that young, like I said, he's only 20 years old. Guys that young, they go in there and they be reckless and they just smother their own work. But he stayed poised and put his punches together and made every shot count.
Yeah, isn't Ben Davison the dude that brought Tyson Fury back from the dead?
Yeah. Ben Davis is a guy that worked with Tyson Fury, and I believe he worked with AJ as well.
Because I know that's Moses' trainer. I know a little bit about Ben Davison because I know he used to do some training with the American Dream Haney. But he got a good little prospect with him. I think I don't know if he a southpaw, but that short left hand was special, and I just think that with Moses, he only gonna get better. He only gonna get better, man. Suit to my brother Daniel pulling up. He
Yeah,
only gonna get better over time.
Moses was southpaw. He
Yeah,
was southpaw.
that's why he was so powerful with that left hand. But thinking of this, man, I'm wondering, can he beat like Herkovich? That's my question. Can he beat Herkovich?
No, I think he'll stop Herkovich. Herkovich,
Suit to my brother
he's
Clarence. Subscribe to my brother Clarence.
he's a big puncher, but he doesn't have anything to him. He's just a big puncher. Like I don't see anything special about Herkovich. Like with Moses, Moses is a boxer puncher. He can go in there and outbox an opponent if he has to. If his punches is not hurting him, he can go in there and outbox his opponent. With Herkovich only relies on the power. We saw
He
that when he
punching
fought.
free. He's punching. I know you sleep on Herkovich, but he's punching, dog.
No, I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're punching. What happens when you don't hurt your opponent? We saw what happened in the Big Bang Zane fight. He was throwing everything, and he couldn't hurt Big Bang Zane, and that man was out that joint exhausted by the 12th round because he couldn't hurt him. He was throwing everything behind it, but it wasn't doing nothing.
I knew he was punching because I remember he had hit Triple D with a shot, and it definitely buzzed him, but Triple D got him out of there. I just think, I don't know, maybe I think too much of Flip Herkovich, but I'm just a fan of him because it seems like he be beating people dead. He just don't got no head movement or nothing else, but he be punching dudes, man.
I mean,
That's
outside of Big Bang Zane, he hasn't beat anybody of note. I mean, he lost to Daniel Dubois. I mean, who has he really beat?
Yeah, that's a good point. I did hear that he called out what's the dude's name? Michael Hunter. He wants to fight Michael Hunter. I don't know how Michael Hunter just became so in the news, man. I know he was trying to get out his contract with Don King, but I don't know. Michael Hunter, ain't it the dude that beat Bacoli?
Yeah, he stopped McCody.
Yeah. After I seen the way Joseph Parker beat Bacoli, I think Bacoli might be a little overrated. What do you think?
I don't think he overrated. I think McCody is what we believe he is. He's a big puncher. He doesn't
Hey,
have
girl.
anything special about him. He's just a big puncher, and he's gonna throw his shots. It's just a matter of can you avoid him, and can you have something to make him respect you. Because you ain't got nothing to make him respect you. He's just gonna keep walking to you and throwing big shots.
You know what's funny? I seen a little clip I was watching, and someone said that Matias fights like Aaron Pryor. What do you think about that?
I think someone wasn't paying attention because Matias don't fight nothing like Aaron Pryor. Aaron Pryor, yeah, I mean, I get what they're trying to say because Aaron Pryor did get a little reckless,
Hmm.
but Aaron Pryor had head movement. He had defense. He would get reckless at times, but he wasn't like no Matias where he just used his face as a guard. He ain't that type of fighter. He had head movement and he had defense, But Aaron Pryor was one of those guys that he was knocking everybody out. I mean, Matias, we've seen multiple times that Matias got beat by somebody that can outbox him. We didn't really see that too often with Aaron Pryor. I think Aaron Pryor had what, one loss?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
My
And he
only my thing though, I will say
way
this
better
about the Hawk.
competition than Matias did.
When
He fought way
remember when he fought
better.
Alex, I think it was Alex Aguayu, he
Yeah,
really gave a lot to get in there. He gave
yeah.
up a lot to get in there.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Pryor was one of those. He's one of those fighters from that era that fought a lot of tough guys. He didn't fight any easy opponents. A lot of his opponents were tough guys. It's just Aaron Pryor made it look easy because Aaron Pryor was another level compared to a lot of those guys. That's one of the reasons why everybody wanted to see him in there with Sugar Ray because Sugar Ray was one of those guys as well. And Aaron Pryor was another guy that had fast hands, had power for his size. Sugar Ray had fast hands and had power for his size, so that's why they wanted to see that. But it just never materialized.
Yeah, that's you know what's so funny about it? Matias to me, I felt like he lost to Pulo, but it's almost like people seen a different fight than what I seen live. Maybe I mean not live, but what I seen on TV. Because I don't know how Pulo lost to Matias. I thought Matias is pretty basic. What do you think about Matias?
Um, he is basic.
Smash the like button for us, please. We got six
The,
people. We
pro-
need
the
6 likes.
the problem with Matias is he doesn't have head movement. If he was to have some head movement and have better defense, he will be a much bigger problem for a lot of guys because he is one of those guys that does have power, and a lot of people can't stand up to the power that he has. He's one of those guys that's going to wear you down with his relentless. He's going to keep coming at you until you put him down or you outbox him. He's going to keep coming at you, and so that's one of the things with Matias is more so mental than it is actual power. Matias is he's not a one punch knockout artist. He's a guy that's just going to keep coming at you and he wears you down over time.
Yeah, I think one thing I will say, Matias is a little bit taller than I thought he was too.
Yeah.
Um, because he might be about 5'11", 5'10". He's not a little guy at all. He's skinny, but he's not like as short as I thought he was. He might be one of the taller 140-pound guys, but I'll say this: I think he needs to make that Gary Russell fight as soon as possible. What about you? I mean, yeah, Antoine Russell fight as soon as possible. What about you? What do you say?
I think at some point they should make that fight sooner than later. Because Matias is one of those guys. If he faced the right opponent, he will lose
Hmm.
because he doesn't have a lot of defense. He doesn't have a lot of head movement. If he can get in there with somebody that can outbox him and avoid his pressure,
Hmm.
Matias can lose that fight. We saw it twice already with a guy that can outbox him and avoid his pressure. Um, he has problem with those type of fighters. I mean, if you get in there with somebody like I'm trying to think somebody at 140 that would avoid his power and outbox him. Um, trying to think.
I thought that's
And
what
then
Pulo was doing, but the judges
nah,
said different.
Tio don't
I said
avoid
Pulo.
any. Yeah, Tio don't avoid anybody's power for the most part. Like Tio, he fights and
Hmm.
he comes forward a lot. And I like Tio could be a better boxer, but for some reason he was so strung up on all of the knockouts he got at 35 that he still believes that he's that fighter, but he doesn't realize he's at a bigger weight. That power didn't carry with him. Um, but yeah, I mean, I just see Antoine and Matias
Salute to my
possibly
brother Bentley pulling up. Go
being
ahead.
the best matchup at 140 pounds. I think that will probably be I ain't gonna say the best matchup, but the most exciting matchup at 140 pounds. Antoine versus Matias. That's the most exciting because you know somebody's going to get stopped in that fight.
So that being said, and I know you've been a big fan of Xander Zayas early. Do you think Xander's the best at 54, or you think he still got some competition? Because I think from what I've seen recently, I think he could beat Fandor. What about you? He just don't got no power.
I think he can beat Fandor as well if he coming in with the right game plan. Um, Fandor has problem with boxers. We
Hmm.
saw that when he fought Erkson Lubin. When Erkson Lubin did drop Fandor, Erkson Lubin was boxing at the time instead of trying to fight fight Fandor's fight.
Hmm.
He fought his fight, and that's how he dropped him. Um, but I don't think Xander is the best right now. I think he could be if he continue on his trajectory and keep getting better. He could be the best, but not right now. It's still a lot of fight for him to have and a lot of experience for him to gain before I could say he's the best at 154. He hasn't fought those opponents for me to say he's the best. I think he's on his way of being one of the top guys at 54. I mean, some people would say he is one of the top guys because he has a title, but far as experience, I don't see him as one of the top guys. I think he's a good young fighter on a up climb, but he's still got a lot of work to be made up.
You know, I salute to my brother Billy saying he thinks Sebastian the top dog, but I don't know. I can't forget that Brian McDoza fight, man. He got beat to death.
Yeah.
Like it looked like a tree. You ever see when them guys cut them trees down? That's exactly how
Yeah.
that looked, man. He just fell
Um,
like a ton of
a
bricks.
lot of a lot of people would say Fendora is the top guy because he was unified until he dropped his belt. Um, and he beat Tim Zoo twice. So a lot of those other guys at 54 hasn't fought each other yet. Some of them have, but not all of them. So I can see what he say, but me personally, I don't think there's a top dog. There's not a top dog until somebody fought everybody and there's a last man standing with all the belts. You could say, oh, this guy is number one, but how do you really say he's number one if he ain't fight all of the top competition? He fought one guy. And I mean, he fought two guys if you want to count Erks and Lubin, but Erks and Lubin wasn't one of the top guys. But out of all of the top guys that we believe is the top at 54, Fendor only fought one guy, and that was Tim Zoo.
That's a good point. Um, I just, I don't know. When I look at Fundor, he missed 6 months with a doctor's note for a nosebleed. Then he vacated his WBO title because he didn't want to fight Xander. It's just for me. I feel like Sebastian really is slapping us in the face with this Keith Thurman fight. I really think it's like a real disrespectful fight to be having right now. After all
Um,
this time, I just think it's disrespectful to the fans. I'm not saying that could just be my opinion, but I think that's the most disrespectful fight I've seen a champion give us.
I mean, I understand why the fight is taking place because, like I said, they trying to build Fendor's name and Keith
Salute, thank
Thurman.
father, salute, brother.
Keith Thurman is the biggest name at 154 right now. His name is bigger than everybody else's. But I would have liked for Fendor to circle back and try to get that belt back from um, Xander.
Hmm.
You dropped the belt because you wanted to fight Tim Tszyu. It was a bigger money fight, and that I mean, rightfully so. But you finished with that. You knocked him out, and you have the opportunity to go get your belt back. Xander ain't ducking nobody, so go back and fight Xander. And you decided to take the Keith Thurman. I mean, it's probably a bigger money fight by fighting Keith Thurman, but you just took a big money fight and avoided Xander. So why not go back and get your belt?
Yeah, just you a nice guy, man. Free, I give it, I give you that. Shout out, oh man, shout out to my brother Billy, man, showing love. He said shout out BBO and the special shout out to D Free for always showing up and sticking to your guns. Yeah, one thing about Puerto Rican Free, man, it's two frees. You got regular free and you got beanie free. Right now we got beanie free, where he giving us real knowledge, nothing, no fillers. But salute to my brother Billy, always showing love with the 10 piece. The thing I'll say this though, Free, is I don't understand why no one is saying anything about this Keith Thurman fight. This is a horrible.
Um, I don't think it really hit the boxing world yet until paper and pen is actually signed. When they actually sign the contract and they say that this fight is going to happen, I think that's when people are really going to talk about it because we just heard that Keith Thurman was about to fight Virgil, and now all of a sudden it's Keith Thurman is about to fight Sebastian Findor. So I don't think it really hit the boxing world until they actually put pen to paper. Once they put pen to paper, then I think that's when it's really going to hit people, and people going to say, "Hey, what's going on with this fight? Why are you taking the Keith Thurman fight instead of going back getting your belt from Xander?"
Yeah, salute to my brother Prize. I don't know, man. And you know it's funny. Even if Keith Thurman somehow win, we know he might fall down the steps and be gone for another 9 years. I mean, when I seen how long he be in between fights, dude, Keith Thurman just fought Brock Jarvis, man. That was such a mismatch, man.
Yeah, I mean, I told y'all what it was from the very when they first made that announcement. I was like, hold up, this dude started his career at like 135. I'm like, hold up, this dude started his career at 135, and the man moved up like every year after like his first 4 years in the career. The man moved up like once every year. I'm like, I mean, I'm not sold on this fight. So I don't know. I mean, that's the ultimate uh get back in the groove fight because that was no test whatsoever. That was just Keith Thurman getting back in the groove of fighting again. It wasn't no test for Keith Thurman.
You know it's so funny. And everything good about Keith Thurman is like 7, 8 years ago, if we being honest. I haven't heard there's nothing he's done recently that you can say he deserves a fight. I mean, that Manny Pacquiao fight, was that what that 2019, 20?
2000, yeah, that was like 2019.
Yeah, that's a long time ago, man. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of
that was six
maybe I
years ago.
maybe I'm getting my prize fight on, but it's like, what have you done, bro? You don't deserve no doggone fight with a world champion.
No, I
I don't
mean,
know.
yeah, I mean, when you get to the level of Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, Manny Pacquiao, Bud Crawford, you can go away for a year or two and still get right back in there with a champion because your name is that big that these younger guys want to get in there with you because they were coming up trying to get those fights with those guys because those were the guys that they was coming behind. And so when you get to that level, Keith Thurman is on the level. I ain't not not boxing wise, not money wise, but just the name wise. He's on the level of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather for those younger guys. They looking at Keith Thurman the same way Keith Thurman was looking at Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. He want to get in there with those guys to prove himself. That's what these guys are doing now. They want to get in there with Keith Thurman and improve themselves. Say, hey, I got this big name on my resume.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
What's
My
going
my
on,
dog.
Thomas?
1 second.
Yeah, but I mean, I like I said, I'm not 100% um mad at the fight. Is I'm like 60-40. I mean, 60% like okay, it's a cool fight, but the other 40% is like okay, why didn't you go try to get the Xander fight and get your belt back? Because that's how I look at it. And the same thing like with Bivol. I look at Sebastian Findor the same way I look at Bivol. Okay, you said you wasn't fighting David Benavidez because you was about to fight Arthur for the trilogy, but you're not fighting Arthur now. Why you not trying to go get the David Benavidez fight and get your belt back? That's how I look at it.
You know, what's funny? What is that? Is the guy cruiserweight John Obertai? Is that his name?
Yeah,
I don't know why I thought David Benavidez was gonna fight him, but I don't think he will now. I
no,
really want to
David
see John
Benavidez.
Obertai versus Benavidez. I want to see that.
I mean, if David Benavidez move up to cruiserweight, that's a fight that I want to see. But right now, he's at light heavyweight, and Ja Overtime is at cruiserweight. I mean, I don't know how much longer he's going to stay at cruiserweight because he fought pretty much everybody there was to fight. I don't know why he's not getting unification fights, but he pretty much fought everybody there was to fight at cruiserweight. It ain't really nobody there.
PD, man. I, is John Obachai too small to fight Wardley?
I don't know.
I would love to see him and Wardley get it on. I really would.
He's a tall guy. I think he like 6'4", 6'5". He's tall. At least that's what he looks like. I'm not sure exactly his height, but he looks like he's about 6'4", 6'5". I don't know what he walks around at because a lot of times these guys, I mean, he fights at cruiserweight, so he's coming in at the minimum 200 pounds. So, I mean, he probably can get up to like 215, 225 and still be comfortable. I don't know. I can't say how that man body is weight on. So I don't know. Maybe he might be a lifetime cruiserweight. I don't know because he looks like kind of rangy. He doesn't look like he has a lot of weight on him. He just looks real rangy.
He got that Deontay Wilder build.
Yeah, he kind of muscular, but he doesn't look like a big muscle cruiserweight. He looks
not
like
a big man. It won't look like he like wiry kind of.
Yeah. He kind of wiry and rangier. But
yeah,
I mean,
I can see that.
Know. Maybe he can get to 215, 225 and still feel comfortable. I don't know.
Salute to my brother Bentley saying, if Keith wins, who at 54 dethrones him? I don't think it'll be Boots. Shout out to everybody. I made a video. I'm gonna start doing better at making. I'm gonna make videos every day. Definitely join the membership. It only costs you a cup of coffee, $2.99 a month to join the Doghouse Community. Very much appreciated. But to be honest with you, I don't think Boots would be the guy. I think at 54, if Keith was to win, people might laugh at me, but I think it's Xander. I think I was talking to a coach today, a good friend of mine, friend of the show, my man Bernard Hacken. Bernard said Xander's only getting better. And when I figured out, I just thought about this. Xander, like 22 years old, and he been fighting for what? Since he's like 17, 18? That dude can fight.
No, he's been fighting as a pro since he was 16, I believe. He's been fighting as a pro since he was 16. Yeah, he's still a young dude far as age wise. But yeah, he's getting better. I think Boots. I think Boots will beat Keith Thurman. I mean, Keith Thurman, like I said, he does have the experience, but I don't think he possessed anything that will be a problem for Jerron Boots Ennis. I think Xander could beat Keith Thurman, but I think Xander needs another tough fight in front of him because Keith Thurman has a lot of experience. Regardless of how we feel about Keith Thurman is still a veteran in the sport. He only has one loss to Manny Pacquiao. Granted, he hasn't fought anybody since he lost to Manny Pacquiao, but the only loss he ever took was to Manny Pacquiao.
Now, this is a very long ago because if 2019 was a long time ago, this is like 2016. I remember he fought Danny Gar. He beat Sean Porter in a close fight, and then an even closer fight, he beat Danny Garcia. So I mean, can he turn back the hands of time? I don't know. My man, Autism Boy College 81 said that BBO was Moses overrated in your opinion. Everybody's overrated this early in their career. But he can fight because, like I said, I put the tape on. My brother Free said, "No, I'll check him out again, BBO," and I checked him out. And like I didn't realize that, man, Dillian was hurt bad from them punches. I don't know what happened. I've never seen Dillian White react like that to punches. Maybe because he's 36 now.
After that talk that we had with Graham last night, I went back and watched it a couple more times, and it was exactly like I said. Dillian White pulled himself up after he got knocked down. He pulled himself up, and once he got on his feet, he stumbled back, and the referee waved it at him. As soon as he stumbled back, he didn't wait to look at Dillian White's eyes or none of that. That man stumbled into the corner, and the referee immediately waved it off. He should have stayed down on one knee and waited till the 8 count, then got up. But when he tried to get right back up and he stumbled back, the referee was like, "Nah, he's done. That man is done."
I
So,
say this though, you one thing about Free, he don't always agree with me on stuff, but I got to get a brother's credit because when I put the tape on, I seen what he was talking about. When I put the tape on, I got to give you credit, bro. When I put the tape on, I seen that Dillian White, and I don't see. That's why I be wanting to do these fights, be having some extra sauce to it, as my man Dub would say, the vanilla envelope, because I've never seen Dillian White hurt that bad. I mean, he was hurt
well,
bad off like a short left. That's crazy.
I mean, but most of the time when we see Dillian White get knocked down, he get knocked out cold. So I mean,
Cool.
it's kind of hard because like most of the time when Dillian White get knocked down, he's knocked out cold. We very seldom see Dillian White get knocked down and get back up. We very seldom see it. Like I said, Dillian White has never lost a fight that went the distance. Every
Yeah.
fight he lost, he got knocked out. Every single one. And this is the fourth one. He got 4 losses, 4 knockouts. He has never lost a fight that went the distance.
Yeah. You know my favorite Dillian White fight though, and I remember watching this because I bought it. When he fought Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury pushed him and then hit him with the hit him with the uppercut and then
Yeah,
pushed him down.
yeah. Yeah. The
Hey,
funny thing was, Dillian White got hit so hard with the uppercut that the man got up and said he got hit in the back of the head. I was like, dog, he hit you in your chin. Where'd you get the back of your head from? The man hit you in your chin.
and it was like same thing happened when he fought Pavek in the first time. I mean, he beating the life out of he beating the pierogies and tequila out of this dude or whatever they drink, vodka out of this dude, and then next thing you know, boom, and he went down like a tree.
Man, that man, he's a sucker for uppercuts. That man is a sucker for uppercuts. Like AJ is a sucker for straight whites, and Dillian White is a sucker for uppercuts. Them boys cannot avoid those shots. AJ can't avoid a straight white, and Dillian White can't avoid an uppercut. I don't know what it is about the UK guys. They have crazy flaws. Like I don't know
Very
what it is.
glaring flaws at that because I could be wrong, Free. I feel like Eddie Hearn is a terrible guy to have in your corner because Joshua was getting better, and then he rushed and got that fight with Prince Charles, and he never got any better. He never got any better after that. And I could just say that's how I feel from watching him. He should have never rushed to get that Prince Charles fight. That fight really set his career back. So
Yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah and no, because you want a promoter that's going to push your fighter, but you don't want a promoter that's going to push him too fast. Because when you push a fighter too fast, you can ruin that fighter. But you do want a promoter that's going to put him in there in tough situations to see how he does in certain situations. Like what Big Baby did with Martin Bacoli. Bob knew that was a bad fight. He was like, "No, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it." But Big Baby, all he saw was the dollar signs, and he went over there. And I told y'all before the fight, I said, "Don't be surprised if you see Big Baby sitting on his pockets." And that man sat on his pockets a couple of times. The UK only have one champion, Nick Ball.
Nick Ball
Uh,
got a gift last night, Free. That was a gift. He
yeah,
lost that.
I mean, if you don't count Usyk as a UK fighter, I know he fights out of Ukrainian. But if you don't count him as a UK fighter, then yeah, they only got one champion.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. That fight, Nick Ball. Now I'll say this because people always say BBO is a little biased, which I think is unfair. But it reminded me of that board check fight where I seen Virgil get dropped twice. I mean, Nick Ball lost that fight last night. You can't tell me
Yeah,
he won that. He didn't win that fight. He didn't win that fight.
I'm not gonna argue with anybody that believes that Sam Good won that fight, but it was a very close fight. It was a very close what the judges had. I believe Nick Ball pulled it out the last two rounds. I believe the 11th and the 12th round were Nick Ball rounds because prior to that, it was going back and forth. Um, but I think Nick Ball pulled it out the 11th and the 12th round. The same way I felt about the Bud Crawford versus Magnumov. I believe Bud Crawford pulled it out the last two rounds. I had that fight a draw going into the 11th round. And I think the same thing happened with the Nick Ball fight. I think it was a draw going into the 11th round, and I think Nick Ball pulled it out the last two rounds.
I can
But
see
I'm not
that.
mad
He
if you
definitely was
believe.
whooping him that 11th round. He was whooping him that
Yeah.
11th round.
I'm
But
not mad if you believe that good Sam won that fight because a lot of people saw that fight very close. So I'm not mad if you saw Sam winning.
I mean, 118, 110 is crazy, free.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
You know, that reminded me of that fight with Xander. That fight Xander just had where they had the super wide cars. I was thinking like, yeah, Xander won, but it wasn't no shutout. It wasn't no shutout by any means. This wasn't no shutout, and it's the same thing with Nick Ball. That wasn't no shutout. That was I mean, I could see how you could say he won the last two for sure, but
I don't know about that Xander fight because Xander. I mean, if you go back and watch that fight, go watch it on TV. I know what you saw in person. Watch it on TV because you see different angles on TV that you don't get while you sitting there in one spot. You don't get a chance to see all of the other angles that see the punches that Xander avoided and see the punches that he actually landed that you don't see land because you're sitting at a disadvantage. But go back and watch that on TV. I had that 9-3 Xander Zayas. That was not a close fight at all. Dude did get a couple of rounds and he got three in my book. He got 3 rounds, but Xander Zayas was clearly beating that dude. Clearly. Uh, oh, BBO Mike went out. Oh, yeah.
okay, my bad. I cannot find the charger for my earphone, so until I get one tomorrow, y'all gotta do. But yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that because I was in like one area, and the one area I was, it seemed like Xander was like stepping back a lot and kind of getting pushed around the ring. But he did slip a lot of punches. So I will say that.
No, he took some shots. I ain't gonna say he went in there unscathed. He took some shots. I
Yeah,
just think, like I said, I only gave because the guy was just swinging big shots and he was missing a lot. He
yeah,
was
he
missing a
was, he
lot.
was, he
Now
was.
Xander did do a lot of holding, but it wasn't holding like he was hurt and he was holding on for dear life. It was more so he was holding on to have them reset because he was at a disadvantage. He might have been in the corner or he might have been up against the rope. So he was holding to have them reset. I don't think he was holding because he was hurt or anything like that. It was just more so they can reset and he can get back to the center of the ring.
You know what the best fight of the night was to me, man? People probably want to agree with me. Was that African dude when him and Shushu fought? I thought he was whooping Shushu's ass for a minute. He just didn't have enough when it counted, but he was whooping Shushu's ass for a minute, man.
Boy, what fight was you watching?
You just it looked different live, bro. It looked different live, bro.
Man, that boy didn't win not a single round against Shushu.
Hold on, you don't think so? He was hitting Shushu, man.
Man, he ain't win a single round. That man was not winning a single round. That man couldn't do nothing with Shushu.
He couldn't hurt him. That's what it was. He couldn't hurt
He
him.
couldn't he couldn't land a shot, let alone hurt him. You can't hurt nobody if you can't land a shot.
That African dude, man, he was throwing a lot of punches and they
I
was
think
hitting Shushu flush, man.
no, I think the man only landed. I think the most shots he landed in a single round was like 6 shots. I think that's the most shots he landed in a single round.
It looked different. It looked different, Free.
I
It looked
know, because
like
a lot of
it.
times you looking at you got Shushu back to you, and you see the other guy throwing a shot, so you don't see if that shot landed or not. It looked like it might have landed, but you can't tell if it landed or not. Well, I'm watching on TV. we only see the guy's face. We don't see their back. We see their face.
Yeah,
So we
I
can
did.
see
I will
when the
say I
shot
did see
landed.
Sushu's back a lot. That's a good point. That's
Yeah,
a good.
we could see if the shot landed. That's why I say I gotta because of what you and Thomas said. I said, you know what? I gotta start laying off these judges because I know now because of what you and Thomas said about the Xander Zayas fight and what you just said about the Shushu fight. I know that these judges don't see everything. They can't see everything. That's one of the
They
reasons
back.
why.
You know, it's funny. They back me to you way more than you would think. You would
Yeah,
think because you there that you'll see, but it'd be different because like Shushu, prime example, his back was to me the whole time. When Emiliano knocked that dude out, I didn't know he was knocked out till I seen his eye because it
yeah.
was so fast. It was so fast.
Hey,
Like,
hey, Bentley, Shushu tried to see Fulton. Fulton moved out of the division. Fulton moved up to 30. He wanted to fight Fulton. That was the fight that he wanted to make. He's the number one contender for the WBC. Fulton decided to move up to 130, and Shushu was supposed to be fighting for the vacant belt, but they making this an eliminator that he's about to fight. He's fighting an eliminator instead of fighting for the belt. Or the fight that he just had, I'm sorry, the fight that he just had was an eliminator instead of him fighting for the actual belt. He was trying to fight Fulton, but Fulton moved to 130 to fight Oshaki.
He said Fulton moved up. He just got the belt. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he moved
moved
up to
up.
130.
He's fighting. I think Osaki Foster.
Yeah, he fighting Oshaki Fawcett. Like him and Shushu was going back and forth on social media. Shushu wanted to have that fight next, and Cool Boy decided to go up and fight Oshaki instead of fighting Shushu. So yeah, he just got the belt and he moved right out of the weight class. He ain't even defend the belt. He moved right out of the weight class.
Well, I think he was having a hard time making that weight, man.
I don't know if he was having a hard time or not. I just know it looked funny. You having words with a guy that's your number one contender, and then all of a sudden it's time for you to fight him and you move out of the weight class. If you having a hard time making that weight, you don't even need to be having talks with him. You like, hey, look, come up to 130 because that's where I'm going at. I'm having a hard time making the weight at 126. I'm about to drop this belt. Keep it 100. Because if you sitting there going back and forth, and then all of a sudden it's time for you to fight him, and you drop the belt and move to the next weight class, like, wait, what the hell? You only had 3 fights, only two. I'm sorry, you only had 2 fights at the weight class, and you moving out. What the hell?
You know who kind of made me laugh in boxing? Richardson Hitchens, man. It's like he always begging for a fight that we never gonna see him get. One minute he
Oh,
want to fight Devin Haney, one minute he want to fight Matias, but he only fight like mandatories, man. So
you
free
heard what Matias
be
said. You heard what Matias said.
good for him.
Matias said it shouldn't be no problem of you fighting me because at first you complain about having the weight clause. I mean the weight clause because of it was the IBF title. Now you got a title and I got a title, so there shouldn't be no problem. There is no weight clause. You got a title and I got a title. There shouldn't be no problem us fighting. So hey, Matias want that fight. I mean, Matias pulled up on him. He pulled up on him and Tio. He smacked Tio, but he pulled up on
I like how you always
Richardson.
highlight that, free. He smacked Tio though.
No, going back to what you said though, I didn't know Matias was that big over at 140. He towered over
Yeah, he's big. Yeah, he's big.
Tio. I was like, God, I didn't realize he was that much bigger than Tio. I
When me
understand
and
why
Tommy
Tio
went to
don't
get his
want to fight him
picture,
now.
when me and Tommy went to go get his picture, I was like, he got to be about almost 6 feet. He fighting at 140.
I
I
understand
was
why Tio
shocked.
don't want to fight him now. That dude is a big dude.
He said Fulton wasn't supposed to win that fight. Figueroa came back quicker than Fulton did. Um, honestly, to tell you the truth, I think Cool Boy stayed at 122 way too long. I
Nah, you
really
mean
do. Chasing MJ
122?
and them around, he stayed there way too long.
Talking about 122.
Yeah, 122. He stayed at 122 way too long to me.
I wouldn't say he stayed there way too long. I mean, he came in at 122. So I mean, he
Smash that
came
like
in.
button for us, y'all.
He came in. I mean, it all depends on how fast your body grows because some people have growth spurts at certain ages, so it all depends because he could have been at 122 because it was easy for him to make 122, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's not that easy for me no more because Cool Boy is right there around the same age as tanking him. He right around 30 as well.
Because
He good.
I thought, and y'all know I love Figueroa. I thought Brandon won the first fight and they robbed him. But I give Fulton his credit. He did come back and gave his word to get a rematch, and he just beat the life out of Fig, man. He beat the
No,
life out of him.
I think Brandon is a dude that Fulton just has his number. Fulton beat him in the amateurs and he beat him in the pros. I think Fulton just has his number. You have some guys that they just got your number. That's the same thing that happened with Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest just had Shane Mosley's number.
Yeah, that second fight was one sided. I mean, you can say, I'll be honest, in my humble opinion, I think the first fight between Brandon Figueroa and Cool Boy was a draw. But I could see them giving a nod to Cool Boy. But that second one, that was just a straight. He got laced. Figueroa got laced. That wasn't no fight. Shout out to
No,
Marcus Son. That wasn't no fight.
that was clearly one sided.
Yeah,
Clearly one sided.
that was a sparring match. He just beat the life out of
Cool
him.
Boy went in there and did what he did. What he should have did in the first fight, but he said, "I'm gonna beat you at your own game." That's what he should have did in the first fight, and just made it an easy fight. It wouldn't have been no rematch because it would have been an easy one-sided whooping.
Yeah, I think. What do you think, Free? I think Figueroa is maxed out at 126. I don't know. What do you think?
You think he is what?
Do you think Brandon Figueroa can go to 120 to 130? I don't think so.
Um, I don't know. I don't know because I mean, if he put on a couple of more mascaras, he might can make it 130. I mean, I don't know.
Hey man, I don't know why you and Quee said it about that brother, man. Y'all crazy, man. Shout
Hey,
out, shout out to my man Mace, aka
hey,
T, man. Talking
bro,
about
that dude be having way too much makeup on. I didn't see the dude why fighting,
that
just having regular interviews. That man had way too much makeup on.
he don't want the lights to burn him. Free you go. He don't want the lights to burn him.
I mean, all you got, like I said, all you got to do is put on a couple of more mascaras, and you can make 130.
You know what's funny, man? I'm about to say this. The Puerto Rican is like Nostradamus because you're right. I haven't seen Inouye move to 126 yet. He still ain't moved up to 126. Oh, Free getting himself together. But he still ain't moved up to 126. So I don't know. He said, can Moses make the Hall of Fame? I don't know, man. That's kind of tough to say. Can he make it? Maybe. He got talent, but I done seen guys with talent do nothing. So it's all about opportunities. If he get the opportunity to win a championship and really defend it, or win multiple championships, maybe be unified, maybe so. But you never really know until these guys' career is over. Because I remember watching
Yeah,
Deontay Wilder and thinking like, who is this dude, the beer truck driver? And I became one of his biggest fans. To be honest
yeah.
with you.
I mean, I've been watching Deontay Wilder since since the Olympics, and so I just didn't think that he was going to become a champion until probably around his, I say probably like 15th fight. I was like, you know what? He might end up being a champion because when he first came into the sport of boxing, I didn't realize that he started fighting at 19 years old. I thought he started it before then, but when he first came into the sport of boxing, he was real wild. Like you could tell that he was raw and he still had some growing to do in the sport. Because when he beat Stavern, when he beat Stavern, the second fight. Remember when he was throwing all those punches? I'm like, no, this man going to haywire on this dude. He's like, he just throwing everything. The referee had to pick him up and move him out of the way.
Yeah. You said, BBO, why did you post that about Wilder versus Jake Paul? Do you really want to see your favorite boxer go out by influencer? For one, Bentley, Jake Paul is going to be the next cruiserweight or heavyweight champion. So I don't know about him going out, him being an influencer. Let's not play like he didn't beat Ben Masvidal. He knocked out Nate Davison. He beat Jake Paul didn't beat some good guy. He just beat a champion in Chavez Jr. Man, come on, he beat a legend's son.
I would like to see that fight, Moses versus Cavalier. I like to see that fight. I think that's a good fight. That's a good test for Moses because I think Cavalier he has a lot of he has a lot of great body work. Like he's gonna go to the body, and he got pretty fast hands as well.
Hold on. We got slander in the chat. Jake Paul is trash. How is somebody from Cleveland trash? What are you talking about?
He talking about compared to the other professional fighters. He's trash. I mean,
not trash.
When he got in there with a low level guy, he got beat. So I mean, I see what he's saying. I mean, everybody he's fighting is former MMA fighters or former basketball players.
This is a sick Negro.
I mean, the biggest name on his resume is a guy that was damn near 60 years old, Mike Tyson.
Hold on, we beat Mike Tyson. That's got to count for something.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, 56 years old. I beat Mike Tyson at 56 years old.
Hold on, man.
You out of order.
Okay, all this Jake Paul hate is crazy, man. Jake Paul hate is crazy.
I give Jake Paul credit where credit is due. He gets credit for me in one position and one position only, as a promoter. He's a hell of a promoter. I give him that. I give him all the credit for that. What he's doing for women boxing, he's a hell of a promoter. There ain't nobody doing it better than him. So I give him credit for that. But as a fighter, he gets no credit from me.
Free, man. Hey, it reminds me of that movie I used to love to watch as a kid, Lord on Dirty Shade. We say, Luis, why you want to talk to me like that? That's how I feel right now. Why you want to talk like that?
Hey, one thing that I would say y'all produce in Cleveland out of the Ohio area, y'all produce some hell of a promoters. But when it comes to the fighters, they get a little bit of money, though. We don't know what they're going to do. I'm hoping Abdullah Mason is different. I'm hoping that he's different because those Ohio guys, when they get money, they don't know what to do.
I can't disagree with you on that. The moment Ohio cats do get some money, they lose their mind. Every time.
Yeah, I'm hoping Abdullah is different.
Youngest 40th champion in boxing history. When he started messing with the M's, he lost his mind.
Ever since and you know what? When he got away from his pops, that's when you started seeing a different Adrian Bona.
Cutting him, Stafford.
None of that.
Rest in peace to Stafford, man. Great brother, man. Great brother. Kids missing. Everybody missing. Smash the like button, y'all. Please smash the like button. Don't forget, we also offer $2.99 a month Doghouse Community membership. You know, you want to support the channel. That's the best way to do it. You know, we just try to pay a few bills here, man. You know, that's all we need. We just want to pay a few bills. Go ahead.
I just noticed Abdullah Mason's gonna be different. He not gonna be like the rest of them. He's gonna be different because I just noticed Adrian Bona. They all had some type of special effects at the end of their fight. Adrian Bona, it was pops, get my brush, and then you had Big Baby Anderson with the daggone fur coats and the cane and the hats and all that. You had daggone Montana Love with the dog. They all had some special antics. When it comes to Abdullah Mason, it's just strictly business. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm a soft talker, and I'm getting out the ring and go get ready for the next one. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why y'all guys gotta be Ric Flair instead of just being a boxer. You guys want to be Ric Flair? They've been watching too much WWE.
Yeah, it's one of them things where I'll say this, man. Abdullah Mason, when I met him, Very soft smoking dude. I think he's gonna be just fine. I really do. I really do. 'Cause he just want to fight and get paid. He want to fight. He ain't even have no chains on when I seen him.
Yeah, I think his father keeps him humble. His father, and his brothers around. I think that keeps him humble, and I hope they stay like that. I hope they stay like that because when he's that way, he seems more focused. I don't know how he is outside of what I see on TV, but it seems like his father keeps him humble and they stay focused. I hope that his father instilled that in him. So whenever his father passed, hopefully in no time soon, that he'll still have that same mannerism and that same upbringing that his father instilled in him because he keeps him humble.
Yeah, I mean, people underestimate having a good father goes a long way, and I could say him having his father there is gonna be great for him. And Abdullah Mason is a very nice guy, so I mean, I think he's gonna be fine. Montana Love and all them, even Adrian Bronner, they all was like jerks.
You know what Abdullah Mason remind me of?
What's that?
He remind me of Devin Haney when Devin Haney first came out. That's how
Oh yeah,
Devin Haney. That's how Devin Haney was. He was
yeah,
just like Abdullah Mason, and I don't know what changed, but then he started becoming this big headed dude. He's still a good fighter. Not taking anything away from him. He's still a good fighter. But now I think the star status has got to him, and he's a little bit he's different now. He's not the same humble Devin Haney, quiet kid that's going there and handle his business. He's not that same guy anymore. He's more of a rock star, and he wants
yeah.
to put on for the cameras. So, but that's what Abdullah remind me of. He remind me of Devin Haney when he first came out. When we first paid attention to Devin Haney, I think the first time I ever paid attention to Devin Haney was the fight right before he got the what's the guy that he knocked out. I can't think of his name right now.
Some of that dude had the highlight knockout.
Yeah, right before he fought that dude.
Yeah, I know you're
Right,
talking about. I can't think of his name. Yeah, he looked like he knocked his head off his shoulders. Yeah.
yeah, I started watching Devin Haney right before that, and that's when I was like, okay, this is a humble dude. He gonna be somebody special. And then I mean, like I said, the star status kind of took over, and now it is a different guy than what I'm used to seeing. I'm not seeing that quiet, humble guy. I'm seeing a guy that he always got to say something and he's got to put on for the cameras. So I mean, I don't know.
I think
Like I
he's
said,
trying to
I
be
hope.
something that he's not. I know that's probably come off disrespectful to say that. I don't mean any disrespect when I say that, but it's almost like Devin is kind of playing a character because I don't think he's like how like I don't think he's like that. I think he's really a nice guy. I don't think he's a jerk or none of that. I think that's just maybe what's being put on him, but I don't think he's a jerk
No,
like that.
I don't think he's a jerk. I just think, like I said, like some guys they gotta put on that persona for the camera. When the camera is on, they gotta put on that persona. I think behind the scenes, he's a quiet dude. He like to laugh and joke and be a
Hmm.
regular guy. But when the camera's on, he's gotta put on that persona because everybody knows who he is or whatever have you. So some guys you just have they gotta put on a persona for the cameras, but when they off camera, they very humble and meek. Um, Mike Tyson is like that. Mike Tyson, when the camera's not on, he's a quiet guy. But when the camera's on, it's Iron Mike. He gotta hold up to that standard. But when the camera's not on, when Mike was behind the scenes and the camera wasn't on, Mike was a quiet dude. He didn't really say much.
I seen the video of Mike when he had one of his first fights in the amateurs, and you guys think I'm joking, but Mike was crying tears. Like he was scared. I don't know what was going on. It's like he was scared, and Teddy Atlas was talking to him, "Calm down." I couldn't believe it, but it sounded like he was scared. I don't know if that was just a play video they put together, but it seemed like he kind of was like really like distraught. Man, it was crazy.
No, I mean, I don't know how he was feeling, but it could have been he achieved something that he probably didn't think that he was going to ever achieve. I mean, that could have been a big fight for him or whatever have you. So he probably didn't think he can do it, and then he got in there and he actually did it. I mean, a lot of times when guys have a big win or they have a win that they wasn't expecting to get, a lot of times that's how they show their emotions. You have guys that cry. You have guys that don't say too much of anything. They just go on about their business. But I mean, everybody shows their emotions a little bit different. Like Mike has a lot of I say Mike coming up had a lot of demons that he was dealing with.
Yeah.
Coming from out of where he came from, he had a lot of demons that he was dealing with. He was a troubled kid. He was a guy that was on the streets, and they did things and stuff like that. So you gotta understand when you're dealing with a guy like that, certain things can trigger them, and they respond a little different than a normal person would respond.
I was watching the old before we got out of here. I was watching the old interview with you guys, and he said Mike Tyson walked up to his mom and took the diamonds out of her ears. I was like, dang. And then they came back to him and they said, Mike, you guys says you robbed his mom's earrings. He said, well, tell you God I'll pay for it. I thought that was beautiful, man, to say, hey, I'll pay for what I did all them years ago, man. That was dope to me.
Yeah. Mike was one of those guys in Brownsville. I said Bronxville. In Brownsville that used to run the streets and people were scared of him.
Yeah.
I mean, you heard the stories of Tony Atlas when he said he walked in a room and saw Mike standing over his daughter. He ain't doing what a normal person would do. Like, man, get out of my daughter's room or whatever. That man said he had his thing on him. He was like, man, he was about to take Mike out. Mike ain't I mean, you see how small Tony Atlas is. I mean, Terry Atlas is. You see how small he is, and compared to Mike, yeah. I mean, I'm quite sure Mike's probably scared a lot of people.
You know the funny thing about Mike? Mike was 5'10" at like 12. And it's funny because that's not that tall, but for a 12-year-old to be 5'10", you probably would have thought he would have been tall.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He was like he was like had a grown man height and weight, like little, man. But we ain't gonna go too long, man. I know Free getting to enjoy the wife, man. So I want him to be able to enjoy his evening. We're gonna be back tomorrow, man. You got anything for the people before we got out of here, Free?
Nah, I mean, tomorrow we're gonna do the show again tomorrow. I'm gonna do a little bit of this preseason tomorrow. I'll probably do like an hour or so, get ready for the regular season. I'm gonna call the game for the first hour or so, as a warm up to get ready for the regular season, get back in the swing of calling these games again.
Hey, on that note, man, the Road podcast be back tomorrow, man.
Oh, you breaking up.
Oh, my bad. My mic is out of order, man. We'll be back tomorrow, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Shout out to BVO Boxing. You understand? Check the boy out. Check the kid out. You understand?
B3 Picks here to send a big shout out to the Sports Talk Network, the one and only, the People's Network. Shout out to BVO Sports TV and all of the channels of the Sports Talk Network. They partner with your guy B3 Picks and B3BoxingPicks.com, where we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Follow me on all social media at B3 Boxing Picks. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Not Another Boxing Channel, presented by B3 Picks for more content. The membership is as low as $25 a month. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, B3 Boxing Picks, and let's go green.